You're listening to the Outer Banks This Week podcast, a place for people to hear what's going on up and down the beach and to get the truth about what really goes on around the Outer Banks. So, are you ready? Here we go.
All right.
He's ready.
Yes. Outer Banks This Week pod. Thank you. Hold on. Let me say this first. Thank you, Wes. Wes, that voice that you heard, new intro for the podcast. Thanks, Wes, for doing that for me. Appreciate that so much. Outer Banks This Week podcast, all brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Manio. Kelly Midget, he's the used car king here on the Outer Banks. He's been in the game since 2010. He's got Dakota over there helping him sling those cars, and they're also slinging sheds. Yeah, if it has doors, it can be yours. Visit him online at kellysobxauto.com. Give him a call if you so desire, 252-473-3807. Thank you, Kelly, for being the presenting sponsor of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. All right, well, you've heard some noises in the background already, a little bit of chitter chatter. We got little 4-month-old Jackson on the podcast today. And oh, yeah, we got his mother as well, Miss Jackie. And we also have Miss Sandy from the Special Olympics. Ladies, how are you?
Doing great.
Great. Having a good time.
Thanks
Amen.
for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Real quick, something that's really neat about today's show. This is episode 52 of the podcast. And, you know, we do one a week. So that makes 52 weeks. And somebody told me one time, I think I was in school when they told me this, there was 52 weeks in a year. Okay. Yes. So this is like our 1-year anniversary, and y'all are here to celebrate with us.
We're happy we're here to celebrate with you.
I'm so glad to have y'all here today. It's going to be a lot of fun. I was just thinking about over this past weekend. This past week's been busy, but over this past weekend, just want to shout out to Dare County Baseball for their skills day and how well it was run. My son's playing 10U baseball, so we're excited about that starting. Also, my buddy Phil and I, my boss man Phil, I guess I should say, we participated in the Stripers 10th annual chili cook-off. Yeah, chili. Do you like chili? Do you like chili, Jackson? I said chili. He lit right up now. And I just want to shout out to the winners of that chili cook-off real quick. MJ and the crowd over there, Charles, Tim, all of them. They did a fantastic job putting that thing on and running it very well. Winners, they had a presentation award, a People's Choice Award, first place beef, first place vegetarian, and first place other meat. Okay, then they did have an overall winner. Presentation award went to my friend Jackie Hall. Jackie, do you know Jackie?
I know Jackie well. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And clearly a really good chili cook as well.
Yes, vegetarian chili. And I will go on the record right now and say that was my favorite one. Completely. And I'm not even like a vegetarian guy. No, I'm not. Jackson, I am not a vegetarian guy. But you know what? It was okay because I was like, bit into it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. The homemade cornbread that she had in there with some sort of like cream cheese, something. Holy mackerel. Had a little slice of jalapeno on the toothpick or whatnot that went with it. Yeah, jalapeno.
Jackson must have liked it too.
Yeah, but it was very good. And I was like, oh my God. I say very good. It was the best one in my opinion, you know. There was a close second I'll get to in a second, but Jackie did a fantastic job because she ended up winning first place vegetarian chili as well. So I'll go ahead and shout her out for that. People's Choice went to Mr. Sean Westcott. That was the other meat category. That was gator chili. Yeah, alligator.
How was it?
I thought it was good. It was good. Like I said, I mean, there wasn't. Okay, I don't want to say that. There was a few that I was like, oh. What were you thinking? But the rest, I mean, I would say overall, every chili had some sort of uniqueness to it and was rather good. There was I can think of 3 chilies right now where I was like, no, what are you doing? But again, that was only about 3 out of the 26 that I had to try. And trust me, I didn't eat dinner last night. I was not.
You didn't need any dinner after that.
No, that was a lot of chili. A lot. Want to shout out to Red and Jerry. They got first place beef. Again, I said Jackie Hall. She got first place vegetarian. And first place other meat went to Ryan White at Alligator River Marina. Now, these first places are judges or from the judging booth. The overall winner went to Red and Jerry with their first place beef chili. That was very good. Again, still, I was just blown away by Jackie's, and I was like, this is really good. I was like, I can taste beer in this. And lo and behold, I talked to her last night, and she told me she poured a can of the new Lost Colony Porter, Mania Porter, in there. I could taste it, and she was like, oh my gosh, I did. I poured beer in it. I was like, yeah, I knew it. I could tell. Anyway, I wanted to shout out to Stripers for running, and they gave back. So half of the money went to the Dare County Shriners, and the other half went to Dare Challenge. They didn't keep any money. Even the waiters, the wait staff, everything like that, donated their tips and everything back to that. So that was super cool. So again, I got Sandy and Jackie in here from the Special Olympics. We're going to talk about the Special Olympics as a whole. Just to give you an idea, teasing this for what's to come. We're going to talk about the Special Olympics as a whole, their mission, the types of sports that they participate in, the different activities they have throughout the year, and we're also going to talk about the plunge. We're going to talk about all that here in just a little bit. But I did, again, we're not a news type platform. For anybody that's just now discovering Outer Banks This Week podcast, we don't go into news unless it's something that you just cannot avoid talking about. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to go talk to my buddy Sam Walker at samwalkerobxnews.com. That's where you're going to want to get all your news. That's the guy that can give you every piece of news. He's Mr. Exclusive. He is the answer. I said something the other day, Captain Marty echoed. He was like, I said, if you want the answer, you get it from Sam Walker. He's like, Sam is the answer, or something to that effect. And it was really neat the way he made it sound. I can't make it sound as cool as Marty did, but he said it really nicely. But Sam Walker is the guy for the news. Now, there is a piece of news that to me it's newsworthy, but it may not be to everybody else. We'll see. But being a wine cheeser, I learned last week that Juan Cheese Fish, or Cook Seafood, what it is now, is going to close its Juan Cheese location in March. And that was kind of a interesting feeling when I first got that news. My first thought, though, went to the restaurant that was located above the Juan Cheese Fish Company Fish House called Fisherman's Wharf. Now, do you all remember Fisherman's Wharf?
Oh, yeah. Great food.
Yes.
I think it was here before my time of moving, but I think it may have closed right whenever I was getting here.
You missed out.
I have heard many times I've missed out. I remember the billboards, and they came down one day, and I was sad to hear that I couldn't go experience it.
Well, again, so Fisherman's Wharf, very integral part of my childhood. It was my first taxable job. I will say it that way. When I was like 12 years old, my first taxable job was I was the stock boy / dishwasher there. And Miss Dorita Balance, I love her to death. She gave me my job, and she was very patient with me as a 12-year-old. That, because the waitresses would come in and they'd be like in what was called the coffee shop at the time. They'd be filling their sauces and everything like that. And I would rather have been sitting out there flirting with them than actually doing what I was supposed to do. And I can hear her screaming through that kitchen right now looking for me. I've had nightmares about it at one point, but I had the idea of trying to reopen Fisherman's Wharf, and I was really kind of serious about it. And I was thinking about how we could do this, and I kind of made a post on the Juan Cheese community group about I really would like to try this. Is it worth it, though? And I got some input from some people in the community that overall said, unless we can get some sort of state grants, it's not worth it. You would have to doze the whole piece of property down and start over fresh, because they started piecing that all together back in the 30s. And it's been pieced together ever since. So with that being said, it would be a lot of money to dump. We're talking about $3+ million to dump into it. If anybody listening has about $3 or $4 million extra just lying around and they want to invest in some Juan Cheese property to resurrect Fisherman's Wharf, I will gladly assist you in your quest. So just throwing that out there, But that was something that I felt like was kind of newsworthy. They're shutting down that piece of Juan Cheese, and who knows? I don't know what the future holds for it. I haven't done a whole lot of research on if it's been bought, if there's any plans in the works for it. I don't know that yet. But hey, if there's plans, I'll just rely on my buddy Sam Walker to kind of let me know, because that's Mr. Exclusive there. Sam Walker, again, online at samwalkerobxnews.com. I want to recap real quick. I did have Captain Marty in here. We just got him on board here at Outer Banks this week. Very happy to have him. Marty, it's just nice to have him. It's nice to get him over here to be doing his fishing reports, telling his stories, and just to have him on an all new platform to where he can reach a lot of people many, many times over. Because I told him, I said, Marty, when I put these fishing reports up, it's not like it's on the radio and then it's gone and you can't hear it again. It can be played back over and over again. Same thing with your stories, which we recorded some of those today being Monday, the recording of this podcast. Glad to be able to do that for him. He seems really excited. So we're really happy to have him, and I was glad to have him and intro him on the podcast. last week. And you know what? Why am I going to talk about Marty right now? I'm going to let Marty talk about himself.
Hey there, I'm Captain Marty Brill, and if you love fishing, subscribe to my new channel, Captain Marty's Outer Banks Fishing Reports and Stories, with the most trusted and up-to-date fishing reports as I recap fishing from the marinas, charters, beaches, tackle shops, piers up and down the Outer Banks, everywhere. Have you ever wondered what goes on out in the deep? Well, I have, and I've lived it. My stories are bound to grab your attention and give you a glimpse into what a real salt life entails. So join me, Captain Marty, throughout the week on my new channel, Captain Marty's Outer Banks Fishing Reports and Stories, to hear the latest fishing news and some highly entertaining stories from our local waters. I'm on all your major podcast platforms and online at OuterBanksThisWeek.com.
All right. Thank you, Marty. That was really good. A little intro. Why would I continue to talk about him when I can just have him do it himself? I'm going to jump into some shout outs. This is a little segment that I do for people that have let me know they've been listening or just deserve a shout out in general because of just being awesome or doing something super cool here around the community or whatnot. We'll start with you ladies. Do you all have any shout outs that you would like to give? Oh, Jackie looking at Sandy. Sandy looking at Jackie.
We're debating here.
Debating.
Well, we'd like to thank Mitchell Bateman for his help in getting us on this podcast.
I can edit this out, though, right?
No, you cannot
I can't edit this.
He paid us very well
Oh.
to put a shout out in here for him. So
I guess I better leave this in here.
you better leave it in, or I have to give back some money.
No, I guess. All right. Well, then I guess I better leave this in here. Mitchell Bateman. Yay. Glad that you're getting a shout out.
I doubt
Yay.
he's listening, though, because I'm not sure he knows how to work a podcast.
Yeah, I may have to teach him. Mitchell Bateman being my father who...
He is.
We love us some Mitch. He's my Christmas toy drive buddy.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, he eats that up. He loves putting on that Santa suit and going out and doing
Delivering
visits
to our homebound people. He brings all their Christmas presents to them, and they love it.
Yes, he enjoys the heck out of it. He has a lot of fun with it.
Yes.
And I know any activity that he does with you all, with the Special Olympics and with the Virginia Tilley Community Center and things, he loves it. He enjoys that very much. So he gets to get creative with things.
He does.
So, all right, Dad, shout out to you. Okay. Do we, any more? Any other?
I'm just going to say the community as a whole.
Okay.
We are grateful for the support from the community for our Special Olympics athletes and the programs here and how much they not only support us financially, but with their time and energy and generosity.
Awesome. Miss Jackie, did you have any other one? Mr. Jackson, did you have one?
Do you have one, buddy?
Do you have one?
Oh, now you're going to be quiet. I just want to piggyback off of Sandy on that one. The community has been amazing. Recently, we were out at Publix, and I just want to say every face that walked through the door that just lit up with all of our athletes greeting them and talking to them about Special Olympics or trying to get a few donations, they were just all so gracious and amazing. And that's some of the funnest things we get to do is really get involved with the community. So thank you to everybody that is always willing to give over and over and over. So
that's super cool. It's definitely something that's definitely worth investing in for sure. Can't deny that at all. So that's definitely awesome. Any more? We'll save them for the rest of the show.
We'll save them for the rest of the show.
All right, perfect.
Well, actually, one more. Let's
Okay.
a shout out to the Law Enforcement Torch Run, who's going to be helping us with this plunge this year.
Okay.
So we want to shout out to them and also Special Olympics North Carolina.
Very nice.
They're collaborating with us this year to make this a bigger event. So we'll shout it out to get those guys for all of their help.
Excellent. Good stuff. All right, I have 3 shout outs I would like to do. I want to start the first one. I want to shout out to the new Manteo High School football coach named Timmy Charity. Timmy, it's well deserved him getting that job. I know he's been wanting it for a long time, and for one reason or another, it just wasn't his time, but now it is, and I'm very, very happy for him. I'd spoken with him a couple of times about it. He was like, I really hope so. I'm praying that they'll give it to me. And I actually emailed Alfie Wheeler, the athletic director, and I said, hey, look, I don't have a kid playing football at Manteo High School right now, but it seems as if a lot of people feel as if this gentleman should have this position. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of say, hey, look, I think you ought to consider him for sure. And Alfie thanked me and was like, yep, he's definitely up for consideration. So, as an athletic director is supposed to say, that's textbook answer. But hey, I get it. So I'm glad that he got that job. And I look forward to this coming fall to see what he's going to do with the program, because I see what he does with the basketball program and how much he has those kids doing things with the community, especially like, for example, when a church or whatnot will provide a meal for the basketball team, he will take them to that church on a Sunday just to show thanks and appreciation. I think that's really cool of him to do. And just the different things that he does, like the clinics and things with basketball, for example, because I know he's been the head basketball coach for a little while. So I see that going on, and I can only imagine how much fun these kids are going to have football season. And I really feel like they will rally around him and rally behind him. So I'm really excited for his future with Mania football.
Should be an exciting season.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I also want to shout out to a dear friend of mine by the name of Adam Prizer. I believe he's a Master Chief or something with the Coast Guard. Is it Master Chief? Mm-hmm. Chief, he's something. He's high up in the food chain, but he told me the other day he was listening to the podcast, and I could tell he was listening because he was kind of saying back things to me that I had said on the podcast. And he said, I always steer people to the podcast, especially new, they're not sailors, they're coasties.
Oh, you're getting into trouble now. Yes,
I don't care.
You call them sailors.
I don't care. I was in the Army, all right? We were soldiers. That's what we did. But the new people coming in for the Coast Guard, the new coasties coming in, he steers them to the podcast and says, listen to my guy. He tells you everything you need to know, where to go, what to do, what's going on. He can get you educated on if there's something you have a question about. That's my guy. So, Adam, thank you so much for doing that. I also want to shout out real quick to Camilla Brooks. Now, Camilla is a senior at Pasquotank High School, I'm pretty sure, but I graduated high school with her mother, Corinna, at Manio. Camilla just won the state championship for wrestling as a female.
Congratulations, Camilla.
Yeah, and I was like, that is super cool. I saw that, and I was like, that's definitely shout-out worthy for sure. Definitely an accomplishment. So very happy about that. Her mother is ecstatic, and I'm really glad that she was able to do that. And it's such a tremendous accomplishment. So I wanted to shout out to Camilla Brooks for her accomplishment as being the state champion for wrestling. Super awesome.
Great job. And
if you listen to the podcast and you're a faithful listener and you continuously are engaged, I want you to engage with me. Email me, podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com. Let me know you're listening. Say what's up. I would love to talk to you. I got a guy, Adam, text me like every other day. He's a listener of the podcast. Super cool, too. He's super cool as well. So he lets me know he's listening, and he'll ask me questions or whatnot or share some ideas for things. So I appreciate him, and I appreciate those types of things. With that being said, podcast@outerbanksthisweek.com. All right, we're going to bring you ladies back in and talk about the Special Olympics, Polar Plunge, all that other fun stuff. But first, I need to shout out to a new sponsor of the podcast. That would be High Seas Pools and Spas. Their slogan is "Dirty Water Sucks." Cleaning pools, sucking up dirty water. Yeah.
Clever.
They're a licensed and insured CPO certified pool and spa maintenance and repair company serving the Outer Banks from Duck to Manio. Utilize a customized app to manage their customers, routes, services, and most importantly, they provide real-time service notifications to homeowners and rental managers. Some sort of new technology that they're using these days. They offer seasonal and year-round pool and spa maintenance with special focus on flex rentals like Airbnb and VRBO. In addition, they provide storm cleanup, seasonal opens and closes, new and replacement hot tub installations, amongst other things. They provide a variety of repair services to include leak detection, plumbing, salt system installation, heater installation, and pool pump repairs. You can see all of this and more and talk to Bradley and Chelsea, the owners, online at highseasobx.com. Thank you all for being a part of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, ladies. Special Olympics, okay, something that we do well here in Dare County, and we have an event coming up, the Polar Plunge, that we're going to talk about in a few moments, but before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the mission of the Special Olympics here in Dare County. What do we do here with the Special Olympics that we pride ourselves with the most, I guess. I don't know the right way to say it is.
Well, what I think the biggest thing we do is provide a place for all of these athletes to show themselves, show what they can do to the community, show what they can do to their friends. They're capable of a lot more sometimes than what we give them credit for. We give them opportunities to prove that. Jackie's going to talk about the overall mission of Special Olympics, and then I'll come back in and talk about kind of what we do in Dare County.
Excellent.
So kind of just read it straight from, the website here. The mission of Special Olympics is to provide a year-round sports training and athletic competition and a variety of Olympic-type sports for both children and adults with intellectual disabilities. And it allows us to give them a continuing opportunity to develop physical fitness, demonstrate courage, experience joy, participate in a sharing of gifts, skills, and friendships with their families and other Special Olympic athletes in the community. And I will say it is every bit of being a family. If you're a part of Special Olympics, whether you're a volunteer, you're a coach, you're an athlete yourself, a parent, a friend, it does not matter. You're a part of the gang. Special Olympics, they do aim to combine high quality sports with a wide audience and really be a driving force for social and inclusion of people with intellectual disabilities.
Okay. All right. So that's the mission. That's the mission. So what now we bring it, and it seems like the Special Olympics is like the sport element here. Okay. What kind of
health and wellness?
Health and
Sports,
wellness. Okay.
Fitness, trying to keep them active, keep them healthy, teach them things about healthy eating, exercise, how it's important. We have a lot of athletes that don't really want to do some of the physical sport things like basketball and soccer and things like that. So they have these other opportunities. One of them is called Partner Up, Power Up, where they get a playbook, and it's like a 10-week program. And every day they can check off a thing if they've walked for the day. 1 week it might be just about drinking more water. 1 week it might be about picking healthy choices in your food items. So there's options and opportunities out there if say an athlete is not necessarily into all that physical sports. But in Dare County, we offer swimming, basketball, cheerleading, tennis, bowling, bocce, equestrian.
Oh, okay.
And we are just about to start a soccer program. We had someone approach us last week that's going to get certified as a coach and is going to start a soccer program this fall. So we're very excited about all of the programs that we do. Right now, we're in the throes of swimming and bowling and basketball, cheerleading, and track and tennis. So track and field, yes. So all of that is happening now. We will practice weekly in each one of those sports all the way up through June. And at that point, some of them will have the opportunity to attend the state games in Raleigh, which is always exciting. We go to NC State. We stay in the dorms the first weekend of June. That part's not so exciting because I can't imagine living in the dorm we stay in for a year. But anyway, the athletes love it. They have such a great time. They go and they compete all weekend. But I think the highlight of the weekend is the dance. That's the social aspect. They love to get out there on Saturday night and dance with all of their friends and athletes from across the state. And if you can get 1,500 Special Olympics athletes doing the Macarena, you are having a good time, let me tell you.
Oh, my gosh. I'd
And
be
the
in the
electric
thick of
slide.
that. I love me some Macarena now.
Yeah, that and the electric slide, they are having a ball.
The electric slide.
But
oh
yes,
my
but
gosh.
here in Dare County, we are, it's all volunteer driven. Jackie and I work for the county, and Jackie not so much anymore, but anyway. The county allows us to do that as part of our job, and but all of the coaches and assistant coaches and volunteers, nobody's getting paid, and no athlete pays for anything that they do, whether it's their uniforms, the equipment we have to buy, the traveling that we do, the food that they eat, anything that we're doing, all of it. And Jackson likes that, huh, Jackson?
Jackson does.
He's our newest supporter, and he is, he's very excited.
Telling you
if
how
can't
exciting
tell.
Special Olympics is.
That's great.
But yeah, they don't pay for anything. So that's why we raise money. We do special events throughout the year to raise money. We take donations. We have a lot of great families that give on a regular basis. I'll do another shout out to Knights of Columbus. They are wonderful, big supporter of ours. And also the Fraternal Order of Eagles, they're a big supporter of ours. We can't do what we do without the support again, not just financially, but with the people in place that are willing to give of their time and their talent to let these athletes, just live their best lives and enjoy themselves and have fun and get the opportunities that other children get. These, guys and girls aren't always picked for the school team.
Right.
They're not always picked. They're the last one picked if you're in PE class, but they're not the last one picked here. And they're all special and they're all awarded and they're all, cheered for and cheered on. And it's at whatever ability level they're at. That's what we expect them to do. We do set the bar high and they set the bar high. They are very competitive. I mean, very competitive. And, but if they don't reach the bar, but they've worked their hardest to get there, that's all we ask for. You know what I mean? And they have to put in the effort and have to show up to practice. It's not a free ride. You don't get to go to competition if you haven't come to practice and put the work in.
And Sandy and I will tell you, these guys are not just, picking out one sport to play. They're all playing multiple sports and playing as many sports as possible. So there are some hard workers, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Excellent.
They love it. They love it.
Now, how many on average athletes do we have in Dare County?
We have about 125 athletes in Dare County.
Okay.
Every Friday morning now at the bowling alley, there's about 75 of them bowling. If you want to, have a big loud time, come on out to the bowling alley on Fridays between 10 and 12. They are having a ball. But track and field is going on now. They're out there freezing. It's not been very warm weather.
Right.
But they're at First Flight High School track on Monday mornings, and they're having a good time. And swimming every Sunday afternoon at the YMCA. They're swimming there. So cheerleading is every Tuesday at the Tillett Community Center. And again, like Jackie said, a lot of these athletes are doing all of these things. They're not just doing one thing. Tennis, we've been doing tennis. We didn't have a tennis program until last year. We had a lady approach us, wanted to start tennis. Now we have tennis.
And I just want to kind of go off of you right there. We are always looking to add another sport. So if there's anybody out there in the community that wants to come out and coach a sport, even if you've never coached that sport before or have no idea how to do it, we give you all of the tools through the state in order to be able to be a certified coach and work with our athletes.
What about like baseball or softball? Is that one?
We don't have any team sports yet, but again, we don't have the right person that's there to coach it. So if you're out there and you're listening, we would love for you to reach out to us, and we would love to have a team in baseball or softball, because I think that we have a lot of athletes that would want to play. And also, I envision soccer this year being, we are going to incorporate some of the soccer players from the outside teams through Parks and Rec and maybe the Storm to help us, and maybe do some what's called unified, where you can have a Special Olympics athlete and another athlete, and they're unified partners, where we could have some on each team, and maybe they can be teaching our athletes how to play the game, because we've never had a soccer program here.
Interesting. I think about the baseball aspect because that's what I played growing up, and I coached it, and I had a child on my team a couple years ago, and he was autistic, and he just wanted to be part of the team, and he just wanted to play. And I remember going to just the other coach and even the parents of the other team. I said, "Listen, he's going to be my leadoff guy. He's going to hit a home run. I'm going to pitch to him. He's going to hit a home run, and it's not going to count towards the score, but like let's rally behind him, and he loved it, and he had a ball. And I think about that because I think for me, because I've never talked about this before on the podcast. I have a 3-year-old who we're navigating some of the autism waters with him right now, and that's kind of where my heart is just with some of this, and that's I'd like to try to maybe figure out this baseball thing for y'all.
Sounds like we have a new baseball coach.
No. Hold on. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. You know what I mean? Like I think about how much this young man loved.
What a difference it made in his life.
And he enjoyed it. And I mean, he would go out in the outfield and just kind of run around. And like his mom, and I would tell his mom and dad, I'd be like, yeah, if y'all want to go out there with him, just run around in the outfield with him. I don't care.
Yeah.
And the other parents of the other team and the coach of the other team, they didn't care. And they actually rallied behind it too. And like when he hit the ball, he'd take off running. Everybody was just clapping and cheering. And he had a blast. And just that made it all worth it to me. It was like, you know what?
Yes.
I don't care if we win or lose this game. That kid had a ball.
Yes.
I want the other kids to have fun too. But, So anyway, that's I've never talked about my 3-year-old in that regard with his what we're trying to navigate with him before. So that was the first.
Well,
Okay.
we're looking forward to. We also have to be a Special Olympics athlete, you have to be 8 years old and above.
Okay.
8 to 158. Doesn't matter.
158.
Okay?
All right.
There is
If you're
a
159, no.
That's right. 159, you're out. There is a young athletes program that actually works with the schools. We do have all of the stuff to do that. And several years ago, previous to Jackie and I being the co-coordinators, the other coordinator did some stuff in the schools. And so we are looking at getting back in there with the younger kids as well. And it's just a precursor to show them how much fun they can have. And, it also teaches taking turns, sharing, good sportsmanship, that kind of stuff. And I think that no matter what ability level you're at, all of those things are great things to teach anybody.
Right.
And I think that that's just one of the things, I always say if other athletes acted like the Special Olympics athletes, the world would be a better place.
Oh,
because,
amen.
the ball goes out and it's the red team's ball and the blue team's over there looking at you with these eyes. The red guy in the red team hands it to the blue team. We're like, no, it's still your ball. But they want to help each other out. They want to be there for each other and support each other. It's just amazing. It'll make you cry sitting on the sidelines. But you're crying because you're seeing them live their best life and do all the things that they want to do. It's just, they're my people.
And there's an element of purity there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Now, volunteer-wise, do you have enough volunteers? How many volunteers do y'all have on average for this? Do you need some?
We always need volunteers.
Okay.
We do have a great number of volunteers and wonderful people that are helping in lots of areas. But if you want to volunteer, please reach out to us. We can always use more volunteers. Again, like I said, 75 people bowling, we need some volunteers. You've got 3 different things going on the track field. We need some volunteers. We need volunteers not just for those things. We hold dances for these guys and gals throughout the year, big special events. Spring Games is coming up. That'll be on April 26th at First Flight High School track. We'll need volunteers for that between registration. We do athlete buddies. Every athlete gets paired with a buddy. We use a lot of high school kids for that, a lot of youth groups for that at churches. So, and it's amazing to watch that connection of other kids who've never been around somebody that's different and they're nervous. I'll just say that I used my youth group for the first time several years ago, and they were all very nervous at the beginning. And you could tell they were like really awkward. And at the end, they said, Miss Sandy, when can we do this again? This was so much fun.
That's
and
beautiful.
now they talk about those athletes and they see them in school and they high five them. And like Jackie said, everybody becomes family to these athletes. You see them out in the community. You see them at the grocery store. You see them somewhere out. They're like, hey, Miss Sandy, or hey, Coach. They're just super
beautiful.
excited to see you. They love you. They love life, And some of them aren't really living the best life outside of what we're doing for them. So the fact that they come out there every day with a smile on their face and they're willing to give you everything that they've got and then some, it's very rewarding.
That's so cool.
So if you want to volunteer, you will get more out of it than you'll ever give to them.
Now,
I was going to just to add to that real quick too, and if there's folks that don't want to be, in the thick of it, showing their face, we need some behind the scenes people. We need committees. We need people to help fundraise and brainstorm ideas. So if there's anybody who really just, doesn't want to, be out there in the middle, just get a hold of us. We would love to have you do some other stuff. We definitely need some support in those ways to build those committees to keep Special Olympics Dare County thriving.
Excellent. Now, if people, we're going to jump. I want to ask you about the Polar Plunge here in a minute, but if I see on here, it says for more information, you can contact Special Olympics Dare County at sonc.net. Is that accurate?
That is correct.
Okay, so and that'll connect with you all. That will also, and you can plug them in the right direction and where they need to go and how they can proceed with whatever they want to volunteer, give money, be behind the scenes, whatever the case may be. Okay, that's good. Dare at sonc.net. I try to enunciate my letters so that way I don't have to spell it phonetically. All right, we need to get some money going.
Yes, we do.
This is how we're going to do it. We're going to jump into water with it frigid cold.
It is that time of year.
Okay. All right. Now, how does this work? Okay. Now, it's going to be happening on March 9th, I see. What time is this thing going to kick off?
We're going to kick off at 10 o'clock
Okay.
with registration. And about 11 o'clock, we're going to have opening ceremony with the law enforcement torch run and some announcements. We'll have a torch out there. We'll have some announcements. We're going to do a safety brief at about 11:15. And about 11:30, everybody's going to take the plunge. Now, because of the number, we have about 284 people already registered to plunge.
Our biggest plunge yet.
Oh, wow.
Exactly. This is our third year, so we are super duper excited. And we have 20 teams. They're all challenging each other to see who can raise the most money and who's going to come out there looking the craziest. So we may actually this year plunge in 50-person increments just for safety's sake.
Okay.
But there will be lifeguards out there, and also the wildlife will be out there with some of their people to help make sure everything's safe. But it is going to be an exciting time, and we run into the ocean, and you plunge, and you come back out, and it's just cool.
So
it's chilly. It's chilly.
It's definitely cool, I'm
Say
sure.
a little cooler than cool.
Yeah. So, okay, so you don't have to like go in there and like swim around for like 5 minutes or something and then come out. You can go in and come right back out. Is that
You
right?
can go in and come right back out. Yes.
Okay.
And you can dip your toe, but we're going to right now on this podcast challenge Justin to plunge because he's been over here talking about it. But I think that anybody listening out there, I think you need to call into him and tell him, yes, he needs to do it. You guys can come out and watch him do it. I think that it's definitely the challenge is there, Justin. You have to either accept or not.
I believe that, number one, I'm going to start getting text messages now. Number
Good.
two, I'm going to start getting emails. And
Good.
number three, I mean, how can I tell y'all no?
You can't. We
I
don't take
can't.
no for an answer.
Exactly. So I gotta swipe my card, go to obxplunge.com. Is that where I register?
That is where you register.
And that's where anyone can register for that matter. So obxplunge.com is where you go. And it looks like I'll be going there in just a few moments at the wrap of this podcast. I'll have to go on there and register myself. Do I get like a cool t-shirt or anything? Or like
Yes, you do. And if you register for the Friesen Friends team, which is our team, you get a different cool shirt. And this year, we are going to have some really cool merchandise.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Now, can that be bought online? Is it you have to
It's
be out
going
there
to be
present to buy
out
it?
there that day. You can buy it. And then after that, if you don't come that day, I don't know if you can get one of those shirts, though, because
Might
it
be a little
says
harder.
I plunged at Jeanette's Pier
It does.
in the OBX Polar Plunge. So you can't really even buy one if you didn't plunge.
Okay, so can I do this? Like this, it's either go hard or go home for me a lot of times.
That's right.
Okay, could I go jump off the pier?
That's not on us.
No, you're right. I do not encourage that activity.
I wouldn't
No.
advise it.
No, definitely not advise that at all. I was totally joking. Although
We will have some volunteers watching for Justin so he doesn't jump off the pier.
Yeah.
I just figure, if I'm going to do this, let me just. Because if I get in there, if I start running in and I get in waist deep and it's like 45-degree water or whatever it is, I'm probably not going to want to continue on. So I figure if I jump off of something into the water and get completely
in.
submerged, I'm in. Like I
Yep,
can't
You don't
get
have a
out.
choice then.
Yeah, I'm in there. And then it's like, all right, now you got to fight the current to get out.
You just have to run and not stop. Just
Yeah,
go for it.
Well, you can go big in other ways, though. There's going to be kind of some competitions going on. Aren't we doing some fun stuff?
There's going to be some prizes that day, some door prizes. We're going to be doing some fun stuff. Yeah, there's all kinds of competitions that's going to happen that day.
Biggest team. Are we doing a little dress-up deal if you want to come as a
Come in a
polar
crazy
bear?
costume.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
there's a costume contest. There's the largest team. There's the person that raised the most funds or team that raised the most funds.
Bragging rights.
You can either join a team or you can be your own. You don't have to join a team. When you go to that website, you will have the option to join as an individual or join one of the teams that's already on there.
And
So
if you're not tech friendly, you can always come out and register day of. You do not have to get online, deal with all that. Just come and fill out the paper form.
See, now that's the Mitchell Bateman way of doing things.
Yes.
Mitchell Bateman refuses to own a cell phone.
yeah,
Okay, so you wouldn't believe the people that are like,
I know I have to call your mom
Not-
when I need
Yes.
them.
Not
Yes.
even a flip phone? Come on.
yeah, nothing. He's like, why do I need one when I'm around people that have them? And if I need to borrow it, I'll just borrow theirs.
He's probably a smart guy for that.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. I just don't like to admit it.
Don't tell him that, please. Oh my goodness.
So obxplunge.com, and like you said, you can join a team, you can do it individually. And you said there's 280 some odd have already registered. Is that right?
Yes, this is going to be a huge event.
At $50 a piece. That's a lot of.
Yes, it
where,
is.
Where we? I mean, would you mind talking
No,
about?
we're very excited about where we are right now. Last year, we raised about $12,000, and the year before that, it was $10,000. And right now, we're at over $30,000. And Jackson thinks that's awesome.
He does. He does.
Right,
we started talking
isn't
about
it?
how much higher. We say 37.
About 31,000
31,
right
okay.
now. And I think that we can get over 40 easily. We have a lot of folks that say they're registering that haven't registered, like Justin. And so we will be, I think, at over 40. Our goal is eventually to beat those southern folks below us in New Bern that call themselves they say they're on the Outer Banks. They raise about $80,000 a year. So one year I don't know that it'll be this year, but we're going to beat them. And the reason for that is this is Special Olympics, way to raise funds to pay for all of those things that we talk about for our athletes. They don't pay for anything. There's uniforms involved. There's equipment. There's travel. There's special events and all that stuff. So, again, none of the volunteers or coaches are paid. This is just all for them. And it probably for Dare County takes between $50,000 and $60,000 a year just to run the program. So this has now become, and hopefully will continue on, as our biggest fundraiser throughout the year. We have been very lucky in the past with big donors who have come through and given us, a nice way to be able to support this program. But as things grow and as we add sports to it, it will continue to need more funding. So this Polar Plunge is our biggest fundraiser for the year. So we're looking forward to seeing. If you don't want to plunge, that's fine. Come on out there and cheer out all the crazy folks that are plunging.
Right.
We're happy to have you.
I'm on the website right now, and I see where it says you can register or you can donate now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you got the option there, and it talks a little bit more about the cost and be brave.
Brave.
Yeah, I like it.
We
Take
are
the
freezing
plunge.
for a reason. That's what we say. The best reason is our athletes. They have my heart. I had a brother with autism, and I was his guardian for 20 years. And I mean, he taught me more about life than I'll ever know. And the best people you can hang out with in this world are the Special Olympics athletes.
If you're ever having a bad day, we always say this, and with my time with our IDDD community, when I was at the center, they will truly turn your day around. And I think everybody can attest to that, that's
Yes.
hung out with them before.
We do what we do. Look, I don't even like being cold. So when we did this 3 years ago, I told them, I must really like you guys because I don't even like to be cold, and I'm getting ready to jump in this ocean. So I think that that's why everybody does it. There's a lot of things you wouldn't do for yourself or even for certain other people, but it's amazing what these athletes can have you do.
Excellent. You can go online to SpecialOlympicsNC.com to get more details now, and I'm sure that you can go find the Dare County section of all of that. Ladies, thank you so much. Did we leave anything out?
Can we talk about the UNC?
Oh, what? Yes, we need to talk about that.
We need to talk about
UNC.
that.
Okay, yeah. I saw. Let me prelude this. I was messing around on Spacebook. I was in outer space on Spacebook, and I saw a picture of a buddy of mine, B-boy, standing with Hubert Davis, and I was like, "The heck." I thought it was a cardboard cutout at first. I was just like, clicked on it. I was like, oh no, he's actually in Chapel Hill. And then I saw other pictures of other individuals that were out there as well. What? I'm kind of jealous. You are. I'm kind of jealous of that. How did we get to Chapel Hill?
Well, UNC men's basketball team, I guess for years, pre-me, before I was the co-coordinator, pre-COVID, when Dean Smith was there, had this annual thing that he did. He offered a clinic once a year to Special Olympics athletes across the state. And so each county can only take like 5 athletes. So it's kind of hard to pick your 5 athletes. But anyway, what they do is you go to UNC, you do a clinic, they go through a clinic, and then they get to play against the UNC players. The clinic is done by the players, and they get to play against them, which was really, really cool. Coach Davis was there. He actually, since he became coach, wanted to keep on with the program. So it's been very nice that he's been doing that, but it hasn't happened for 6 years because of COVID. So this was the first year back. So we were able to we ended up taking 4 athletes. 5th one couldn't go at the last minute. So we took 4 athletes out there yesterday. We left at like 6:30 in the morning, and we got there at 11:30, and the clinic actually started at 1 and it ended at 3. And they got free tickets to go into the museum. But let me just tell you, they got autographs. Everybody got a big poster. And then the players sat around the whole floor, and they got to go up to each one and get their autograph on the poster, and it was amazing. And B-Boy, oh my golly, he was in all of his glory. He is basketball fiend, and he loves Carolina, so he was like screaming and yelling and just having a ball, and he was super excited. So that's what it's all about. When you see these guys and girls just go out there and have the best time of their lives, and you were able to be a small part of making that happen, man, there's nothing better than that in this world.
Tell me about it. That's definitely a really cool experience that they got to have yesterday, going out to Chapel Hill and hanging out with Hubert Davis and the Carolina basketball team. I was like, oh, man.
We had a lot of, I'm jealous. How'd you do this on our Facebook page?
But, hey, you know what? That's okay. That's all right. I'm glad that they were able to have that opportunity to go and spend time with the UNC basketball team. Is really cool.
Well, I'm glad you outside Facebook, because I wanted to say that's the lifeline to our program. Get up with us on Facebook.
Yes.
That's where you see all that cool stuff we're doing. If you want to check it out, you can always reach out to us there as well. But go check out those awesome pictures from the UNC thing yesterday.
That was definitely cool. Yeah. So Facebook, Dare County Special Olympics.
Special Olympics Dare County.
Special Olympics Dare County.
Yes.
There we go. Say it right. Special Olympics Dare County on Facebook. All right. Did we leave anything else out? Did I forget anything? I don't want to leave any mental stone unturned.
I don't think so. We really appreciate you having us come in here and talk about Special Olympics, something that's very near and dear to mine and Jackie's heart. And, we're here. If you have an athlete that is not registered yet, please reach out to us. We want to make sure everybody gets every opportunity. There is a paperwork that has to be filled out and a doctor's form that has to be filled out, and that's probably the biggest challenge for some. But we are here to help you navigate that as well. So just reach out to us, and we want everybody to be able to participate. And if you have any questions, we're here to answer those. And again, like we said, we'll reach out to the state, and they can help us too.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for all of that. Glad to be able to help you promote that and everything of that nature in the Polar Plunge, and help y'all get some money raised for the Special Olympics in Dare County. Definitely a worthy cause for sure. And I actually had someone not long ago send me an email saying, we love it so much down there. What is something that we can – what's a benefit? What's something that we can donate to that will help that community? Well, here we go. Here's something that you can donate to the Dare County Special Olympics. So to that individual that asked – there you go. Dare County Special Olympics for sure. All right, coming up, we're going to run through some events real quick. Ladies, you're more than welcome to sit right here and go through these events with me. But before I do, I need to shout out to Wanchese Marina. Now, it's famous for its fishing culture, beautiful scenery, and quick access to phenomenal fishing grounds. Wanchese Marina, it's also home to one of the finest charter fleets on the Outer Banks, and also home to the Harbor Star Dolphin Tours. Whether you're looking to go offshore, inshore, soundside fishing, Wanchese Marina has some of the most knowledgeable captains in the area. Located at 4457 Mill Landing Road in Wanchese, and online at wanchesemarina.com. Also, don't forget to check out the Landing Grill. They always seem to have a very delicious Philly cheesesteak down there. I guess I'm going to call it a Wan cheesesteak. It's very delicious. I seem to get it every time I go down there. I do try their specials, which they have on a daily basis, and you can get those as well. Again, it's all online at wanchesemarina.com. And one more thing, Harbor Star Dolphin Tour, you need to book those Dolphin Tours now. Don't wait until you get here this summer to book those tours. You need to do it right now, because when you get here, they might be filled up. You might not be able to go. So I would suggest going online right now, wanchesemarina.com, and start looking at the Dolphin Tours for this summer. All right, going to jump through some events. We'll go through these real quick. All these events that I'm going to mention right now are online at OuterBanksThisWeek.com. That's right, Jackson. OuterBanksThisWeek.com is where you can – I need to get him saying that somehow, some way. OuterBanksThisWeek.com. Yeah. I always say this. Make sure you support local high school athletics. Now, we got baseball season coming up, softball, tennis, track, all those different activities that are going to be going on sports-wise at the high schools. I actually went this past Friday night to Manteo High School to watch them play basketball against, I believe it was their senior night, too. They were playing Camden County, and I'll tell you what, that was pretty intense. The girls' game was pretty intense. I believe Manteo came out victorious. The men's team didn't fare so well. I don't believe they won, but it was still great games nonetheless. My son was very happy to go. It was the end of his basketball season, and we were able to go, and the kids were able to run out on the court with the players, and that was really neat. So
that makes it fun.
Yeah, and my son was tickled to death to be able to do that. And then they went and sat on the on the bench and watched them warm up and things before the game started. So that was really cool for them to do. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I can't say it enough to encourage people to support local high school and middle school athletics. We got trivia nights going on at like Lost Colony Waterfront Beer Garden, Shipwreck, Sandtrap Tavern, Stripers, New Vines, and Outer Banks Distilling just started doing trivia. My buddy Troy, he says it's called Troyvia. Yeah, he was telling me this last week. He was like, yo, man, he's like, I'm doing trivia now at Outer Banks Distilling, and we're calling it Troyvia. And I was like, okay, dudes, I'll make sure I mention that for sure. So check out some of those different trivia nights that are going on up. And he's fine. Don't worry about covering his mouth. Yeah, you good to go, Mr. Jackson. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. Your mom is for real. Okay? Don't start crying, please. No. Don't forget about the aquarium in Mania. They have tons of things happening weekly as well. You do have to make reservations for the aquarium, though, so keep that in mind. A couple things noteworthy, like OBX Got Talent's having their top 5 at the Pioneer Theater this Saturday, February 24th at 7 o'clock. That's going to be $5 at the door, so the top 5 entrants are going to have a little showdown. I don't know if that's the finals or not. They might be narrowing them down from there. I don't know if it's like I'm not sure. I probably should talk to Michael Bass more about this, but I'm thinking that it's like American Idol. I couldn't think of the name for a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like an American Idol type thing. So that's going to be neat. That's going on Saturday, February 24th at 7 o'clock at the Pioneer.
Jackie and I will stick to our day job. We're not doing American Idol.
Yeah. No.
No?
No, definitely not.
No American Idol in your future.
No.
Maybe Jackson.
Maybe Jackson.
Maybe Jackson. Kind Cocktails, they're going to be continuing the Valentine's celebration on Sunday, February 25th from 4 to 7 in downtown Mania. There's going to be a 4-course tapas-style dinner with a cocktail class. It's also their company's first anniversary, so that's going to be really cool. You can go online to kindcocktails.com to get more details on that. Cafe Pamlico, I talked to my buddy Natasha earlier. Cafe Pamlico in Buxton's having a 5-course gin spirit dinner on Monday, February 26th, starting at 6 o'clock. They've limited this to only 50 people, so get your tickets while you can. You can reserve on Open Table or give them a call, 252-995-7030 to make those reservations. The Children and Youth Partnership is having a block party at the Fessenden Center on Monday, February 26th from 10 until noon. And you can visit our website for more details on all of that as well. So that's going to be a lot of fun. They just had one at Nags Head Church, I believe, up here on the Northern Beach. Now down at the Fessenden Center, they're going to be having theirs. The Chef's Table with my buddy Cody Hooker at New Vines is going to be happening on Tuesday, February 27th at 6 o'clock here in downtown Manio. Now, he'll be doing those right regular on Tuesday nights in the near future. So with that being said, go ahead and get in on this one if you haven't already and start making a plan to participate in those throughout the rest of the spring and the summer. Of course, the Special Olympics Polar Plunge at Jeanette Spears is going to be happening Saturday, March 9th, as we just talked about. And you can go online to obxplunge.com for more details on that. And, of course, ladies, thank you again for delving deep into that?
Plunging into it.
Plunging deep.
Yeah, we're plunging right into it. Something else children-related. State of the Child Conference. That's going to be going on Thursday, March 19th from 9 until 3:30 at the Ramada in Kill Devil Hills. And you can go online to darekids.org for more details on that. And, of course, a little foreshadowing into the month of April. Outer Banks Taste of the Beach is going to be happening April 12th through the 14th. Those are just some of the things that are going on. And, again, all of these can be found online at outerbanksthisweek.com. Click on the events tab, and you're right there. Oh, gosh. Ladies, did I forget anything? I feel like we covered it all.
Got it all.
Yes, it was great.
Make sure you like and subscribe to this podcast. We appreciate all the love and feedback that we've been getting so far. Keep it coming. Podcast at outerbanksthisweek.com. Don't forget about Captain Marty, his new channel. He talked all about it a little bit ago, so make sure you go and like and subscribe to his channel for all the fishing reports and some of his great stories that he's going to be telling. Ladies, again, thank you for coming in and talking with us about the Special Olympics of Dare County, the Polar Plunge, and everything that it involves. We're very thankful for that. We're very thankful for you two specifically, for the energy and the love and passion that you have for it. So that's a beautiful thing, and we encourage those that can have the time to volunteer to reach out to you all. Facebook's a good outlet to connect with for you all, and we encourage that to take place if you are interested in participating and being a volunteer or donating, whatever the case may be. So thank you all very much for coming in and talking and for doing what you all do. We really appreciate it. Next week, oh man, I don't know if I should talk about who I got coming next week or not. Good buddy of mine. He's one of my best friends in the world, actually. His name, Mike Weaver, Carolina Barbecue Company on Highway 64 in Mania. He's going to come in and we're going to talk Eastern North Carolina barbecue.
Yummy.
The Outer Banks is famous for seafood, but there's something that needs to be mentioned, and I feel like it is the Eastern North Carolina barbecue and what sets it apart from the rest of the barbecue in the world and what makes it the best. I mean, it's my favorite ever in the entire world.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mine too.
Yeah, see, so Mike, he's going to come in next week to talk about that. All right, ladies, well, that is it. Outer Banks This Week podcast, 1-year episode celebrating it with the Special Olympics. All brought to you by Kelly's Automotive in Mania. Again, if it has doors, it can be yours. I'm going to get Kelly in here real soon to talk cars, to talk sheds, and to talk car show, because I know he's got a car show coming up in the spring at some point, so I'll have him in sometime. Visit him online at kellysobxauto.com or call him 252-473-3807, and he and Dakota can get you all squared away. All right, ladies, thank you again so much. Jackson, lovely to meet you. Can you give me something in the microphone, maybe?
Anything else you got?
Anything you got? Anything? There it is. Thank y'all so much. Later.
This has been another radical edition of the Outer Banks This Week podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow us on social media, and listen every Thursday for a new episode.